Today I'm going to make a Hipster Mermaid Traci J. Hines. She is a YouTuber and a fabulous singer, but this doll has really dry, frizzy hair, so I'm going to attempt a boil wash, which may help. This video was inspired by my froggy stuff. Now this is super hot water, so you may need parental supervision while doing this. A responsible adult if you are not an adult and you're not responsible. The hair is softer, but it's still sticking up a bit. This is Traci J. Hines. Now I have blow dried the hair and tried to iron it, but it's still sticking up. But, oh well. And I'm cutting it to trim it to her length, which is super short. She does wear wigs and hair extensions, but I want this to be her everyday look. So it is a little sticky uppy. Her hair is not rooted as much as, say, Barbie or Mattel doll, so there is some problems with that. I'm going to be taping up her face so that the fabric dye or fabric markers does not ruin her face. I have had that happen before, so just take masking tape if you're trying this to avoid having a ruined doll. It is kind of creepy looking at the doll like this, but it will work so much better. I'm using a Sharpie to dye her skull because her skull is not fabric. And I'm using fabric markers to dye her hair. You want to, after you've done it, let it dry, but then apply heat. Fabric markers don't actually adhere unless you've heated them. So I'm doing the skull and Sharpie. I'm doing and each one you want to apply heat if you're using Sharpie or the fabric marker. So I suggest just a really hot blow dryer for that. Right now I'm going to be applying heat, and then I'm going to wash and rinse her hair, dry it, and then I'm going to see if I need a little more color, and then maybe add a little more marker, and then apply heat again. You don't want a ton of dye in the hair, you just want the right amount of color. And this was a little dark, so I did rinse it out and applied one more coat of marker after doing so, and applied heat again because I want the right color in the hair. And after drying it, I wrapped it with a rubber band and put some gel in it to get it into the shape it should be. I have a little bit of a cold, so please bear with me. Now that the hair is done and it's the black-red ombre color that Traci sports every day when she's not wearing one of her beautifully gorgeous wigs. Now that her hair is the right, basically the right shape, color, and cut, little longer than it should be. Now I'm going to be repainting her face because her eyes are more of a green than a blue, and they have little flecks of like a grayish green in her eyes, and I'm going to be trying to add that in. Now, when my Farty Stuff did this doll, she actually created doll contacts. In case she messed up, she could redo it and take them out. I am not doing that. I'm just going to be repainting the eyes and then repainting the eyebrows and adding, of course, the beauty mark. The beauty mark, of course, now is a tattoo, but before she would have to add it in with makeup because she has a raised part of her skin. It was harder to cover with the tattoo, and it ended up disappearing, and she had to have it redone. I don't know about tattoos. I don't get those. And her eyebrows should be a taupey, darker color than the light tan that Ariel's eyes were. Now, the mole that I'm going to add is just going to be straight black. And I have found videos of her when she's sporting a more natural lip, and that is what I'm recreating. So I'm actually leaving her lips the way they are because they're basically the right shape and around the right color. I think the doll is looking better than she was. She did have some missing patches in her hair. It was dry. It had been cut. And this doll came from a large lot of about 43 dolls that I got for only $36, I believe, or like $35.99. And I have used quite a few dolls in these makeover videos that I love to do. I love to take I love to take a doll that came as something else and turn it into someone else. Turn it into a person, turn it into an actress, turn it into a character so that it has more life in it than a factory paint. Now, I always have problems doing eyebrows, and it's a right to left thing because I'm right-handed. I find it much easier to paint things on the right side. So if I'm doing a silhouette, one side, and I have to flip it, one side will look perfect and the other side will look a tad off. So I am going to try to paint the doll upside down because I heard that from another artist who has the same problems, but I'm not sure if it's perfect, and I do end up messing up a little while making this doll. And even flipped over, didn't come out quite perfectly, and I had to fix it. So I have to paint carefully. So be patient if you're like me and you have problems painting on the left or the right side. You just need a lot more practice. And every time I wipe, it's usually wiping off the eyebrow because I've messed up. But sometimes I'm just wiping off the paint from the, yes, I use a piece of wood instead of paintbrushes, but it's such small detail work that I do tend to have a problem finding a brush that is detailed and small enough for this work. if you're starting out, you should actually have magnifying glasses for this to do it perfectly. Oh, she does look pretty good. But she is starting to come along, just a little more darkness for the eyebrows. I didn't arch it as much as Traci Hines. I tried to make it artificially arched because I've been finding it very hard to get the factory paint off, so I haven't been removing it as much. Some dolls I have removed the paint and some dolls I haven't. I'm going to leave this to dry for a few minutes and then redress her. I was going to put her in shorts because Traci Hines usually sports shorts. I found this. It's the perfect top. There's something I already had. It's lace top, which is why I put the purple top underneath it, so it's modest. But it's just like t-shirts that she actually wears. I did put on a plaid skirt because I didn't have shorts that were short enough. Most of my shorts are longer or too big. And that pair that was perfect was just too small. I think it's for a smaller doll. But I love that top. So I'm taking this material that I cut and I'm tying it around her waist. Because a lot of times she will have a plaid shirt either around her waist or over her shoulders, and mostly in purples, which of course is my favorite color. I love purple. I'm putting on these aqua marine shoes because it's very mermaid-like, but this is how she would look. But her hair won't stay like that, so I'm going to tie a ribbon around her hair to get her hair to stay in place. It also will cover up a little bit of the bald patches from having her hair like that. This is what Traci looks like. The lipstick, of course, is a little darker, and she doesn't have a headband, but this doll needs the headband. I think she looks adorable. She's got her glasses. She does wear these glasses every day, but not for photo shoots. And I do have a mermaid tail for her. So just as a recap, let's see what she looked like. This is what she looked like before. Hair falling out, hair dry, hair very brittle, and had been chopped. This is what I had to work with. I gave her a boil wash. You can see some of the missing patches of her hair in this picture and in this one. And I dyed her hair, cut it, dried it, and then treated it so the hair would not lose that ombre effect. Painted her eyes, her eyebrows, painted in her trademark beauty mark. And here you I have a hipster mermaid like my froggy stuff, except mine has the short hair that she is sporting now and not her longer hair that she used to have. I hope you love this tutorial, and I hope that you can create something awesome too, because I really love how this doll turned out.